Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everybody. Kiler Davenport here. How's it going? Hope good. I hope wonderful. Spring has sprung. Looks like a little sunshine's been out today. And we are here in the studio, hell or high water. No matter what, we are here. Some of you think this is a damn game, but it's not. Some of you think, and some of you do, just come on the air, get your 10 minutes of fame, and then you're gone. All you fancy family poets out there, come on and get your 10 minutes, and then bang, you're gone. Once you get your rocks off, happy, happy day. Boy, I tell you, how many shows are like that? Millions? Who knows? Too many. Is that doing the world any good? I doubt it. Some of you airheads really don't even know that there's a problem going on, or you wouldn't be having a poet show. If you keep letting things go, you're not even going to have an air to do the show on. You're not even going to have a computer to do the show on. You're not going to have anything to do anything with. Oh, boy. What a day of study and research. What a night last night of research and study into this new world order. Those of you that get tired of hearing it, probably not on here anyway. Those of you who are tired of hearing it are probably somewhere else. Those of you who have heard it all before, I don't know, maybe some of you are bored listening to it. And the others that do tune in, the thousands of people in post that listen, I don't know where the hell they are because they never contact the station. But I'm not the only one having this problem. Zillions out there that get thousands and thousands of hits in post and never get a contact from anyone. I think sometimes it's an elusive number that's just put on there by Blog Talk Radio to make everybody feel good. Another conspiracy. The Blog Talk Radio counterfeit analytics to make people feel good and blow smoke up their ass so they'll quit sitting on the air, keep sitting on the air for 2 hours, blowing their brains out for nothing. Very interesting situation, which we can't track. We can't prove one way or the other. How do you like that? Wouldn't that be a hoot to start another Blog Talk Radio and just put fake numbers on there after the guy or girl gets off the air? Just run that sucker up to 4,000 or 5,000 and just forget it. And they just keep coming back for more, buy into a better package, get a premium package, $250 a month, and then get another package for $600 a month, and then another package for $2,500 a month, and then another package for $10,000 a month. Just keep blowing fake numbers up their ass. If I could, I'd blow fake numbers up my own ass and go get some sponsors. That'd be wonderful. Y'all don't even know what I'm talking about out there because you don't study, you don't read. Some of you can't count to 10 without getting confused. I tell you what, I'm not a drinking man, but I wish I had a Coke and whiskey. Yeah, I'm not a drinking man, but I wish I had a Coke and whiskey. It would be all right. I came on tonight to talk about transhumanism, which is something probably any of you, most of you, are completely clueless about. But then again, most of you are clueless about Monsanto. You don't really know the inside story on GMOs, genetically modified food, genetically modified people, genetically modified anything. Most of you think you know about electromagnetic pulses, electromagnetism, quantum physics, quantum mechanics, nanotechnology, robotics, neuroscience, but you don't. You just know the inside of the outside and the outside of the inside of nothing. What a fake world we live in. What a completely fake, counterfeit, hypocritical, stupid, clueless world we live in. Am I in a bad mood tonight? Hell yes, I'm in a bad mood tonight. Here's two big fat women walking by the house. They're both going to have diabetes and heart failure before they're 45. And they got kids. What a shame. I guess they're fat and happy. Who cares? Transhumanism. Do any of you know what transhumanism is? Do you have any idea at all how dangerous this is to the world, how dangerous it's been to the world since God knows when, how many years this has been going on right in front of your eyes? You have no idea that it's going on. You think GMOs are bad? You think GMOs are bad? Look up transhumanism. Google it. Watch the videos. Study. Read the documents. Read the science. Taking brains out of people and slicing them up and putting them in little petri dishes and feeding them once a week. Pasting them onto computer chips like transistors, like a transistor board. Altering the human brain. Meshing it with a computer. Trying to build godlike superhumans like Hitler, I believe, proposed. Creating a super race. Transhumanism mixes with so many different specialties, it's unbelievable, including the neurosciences, of course, quantum physics, of course, quantum mechanics, of course, nanotechnology, robotics. It meshes with so many different specialties, chemistry and biology, go on and on and on. Just name something, mechanical engineering, any field that you can possibly name in those areas deals with transhumanism. And as if we did not already have a problem, just talking about the general conspiracies across the board, transhumanism makes all of these look completely unimportant. Completely unimportant. And what's funny about transhumanism is when you hear all of these people talking about Monsanto, millions of people talking about a genetically modified seed and farmers having problems, that's nothing but a delusion to the real deal, which is transhumanism. Which is really all about what Monsanto is really about. It's not about food. It's not about food at all, okay? It's about getting you used to the genetically modified seeds so they can genetically modify the biosphere. Biology. Turning people into cyborgs. That's what it's all about. And to some of you, this is science fiction. To some of you, this is completely unreal. To some of you, this is something that's going to happen maybe down the road sometime. But it's not. It's something that has been going on for years, and something that is going on right now in real time, just like a golf game or a tennis game or a video game. It's been happening for God knows how many years, and there are thousands of these genetically modified human beings already on the planet. They're already here walking among us. I could be one of them. We could have some in the audience tonight, as a matter of fact. Yes, that's what I said. Transhumans. Across the human divide into science fiction, where your brain is part biological and part computer. My God, they've already got rats' brain cells flying airplanes on a simulator. If you can believe that, let me say it again. They've already got rats' brains sliced up, put in a petri dish in an ice box, taking them out after feeding them once a week and flying an airplane in a simulator. How do you like that? Go on YouTube and pull this thing up and look at it. I mean, if you have the energy. For some reason, I still have the energy. I don't know. But it's on my page if you want to look at it. It's in my matter of fact, I'll have my producer that's here right now pull it up for you. It's in my bookmarks. It's all about transhumanism 1 through 13, I think it is, documentaries. Pull it up and take a look at it. For those of you who are interested in your children becoming cyborgs, might be something you want to look at. Might be something you want to take seriously. I'm sure your children's children will be completely involved and immersed in these experiments if they haven't already been in some strange way. We have the RFD chips. We have the radio frequency chips that we're all talking about being implanted in the human body as if that was some big deal. That doesn't even scratch the surface of transhumanism. Doesn't even scratch the surface. It's laughable. It's laughable. A little chip put in your injected under your skin compared to transhumanism. I don't think some of you have the capacity. I don't even know if I have the capacity, and I do this every single day, to even talk about this, to even deal with it without going a little crazy. I mean, it doesn't seem real. Of course it doesn't seem real that there are mad, fucking crazy scientists out there taking people's brains out in the morgue and slamming them into a big bucket and throwing electrodes in there and turning them into supercomputers. It doesn't make any sense at all, but it's happening right now as I speak. And yes, they're growing all kinds of strange things in these labs. They're growing ears and noses on the back of mice. Poor little mice walking around with ears hanging off their back and noses hanging off their back and penises hanging off their back and toes hanging off their back. You ought to see these little things. You can get a picture of them if you look at the transhumanism documentary. You can see little mice running around looking scared to death with big old ears growing off their back. And then they take the ears and implant them onto human beings. This sounds like something out of a science fiction book, but it's real. It's real. And some of you, your brains just don't operate this way to where you can grasp this. And even if you did grasp it, it doesn't seem to make any sense, so you just put it out of your head. Like, well, what does it have to do with me? Mice with ears growing on their back. Ha, 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 ha. What does that have to do with me? Nothing. It has everything in the world to do with you. Our computers today have the computing power that is just staggering. Staggering. Completely mind-boggling. And any of you that just say it casually, like, oh, well, it's no big deal, you're an idiot. You're a complete idiot. These transhumanists, and they're everywhere. They're just normal, regular people like you and I who want to be God. They want to be gods. They want to be superheroes. I mean, we're creating soldiers who can see through walls. We're creating soldiers that we can put eye plants in their eyes, and they can see through walls. And they can see you when you're underneath the ground. And they can give all kinds of mathematical formulations to GPS as to where you're at just by looking at you. And have you blown up with a drone. Y'all familiar with drones? I'm sure you are. Pick up Time magazine, read the latest articles on drones. I mean, you know, this stuff, let me tell you something, folks. This stuff is really, really science fiction, but it's here. It's real. It's today. I mean, the things that they're doing today, I don't even know if we should even be having a discussion about it, because you know what? It's too far gone. It's not going to stop. These are just regular people like you and I, and they want to be God. They are dead set on getting rid of human beings because we're too slow, we're too stupid, we're too ugly, we're too fragile, we're too sensitive, we're too mistake-prone. So, if we can build a robot, a cyborg, if we can build a genetically modified individual with superhero qualities, then let's do it. Why not? with an exoskeleton. Maybe the skeleton's on the outside of the body instead of the inside of the body, which would make it much more durable, if you will, a much more durable individual. What if we could have eyes in the back of the head? Well, they will have eyes all the way around the head. No problem. What if we didn't have to have a mouth? What if we didn't have to eat? Well, fantastic. No problem. Wouldn't have to feed our soldiers. Well, they're doing it. Anything that you can think about is being done right now in the laboratory in real time. What does this have to do with anything? Well, it has to do with God. It has to do with our concept of God. It has to do with soul. It has to do with spirit. It has to do with the Holy Spirit. It has to do with the Trinity. It has to do with being Muslim, Buddhist. It has to do with everything. Oh, I told somebody on Facebook last night they've transplanted the head of a monkey. That poor little monkey, you should see him. They transplanted this monkey's head onto another monkey's body, and he lived for 7 days. What a Frankenstein kind of deal is that? And of course, if we're just now finding this out, and this has been going on for years and years and years, you can imagine what's really going on behind closed doors? Do you have any idea at all what's going on behind closed doors? Can you just see? Remember the movie Coma? Pull it up. Remember the movie Coma? Pull it up. Remember the Body Snatchers? Pull it up. It's all been said before. It's all been done before. It's been in plain sight all of this time, man. Little monkey looked so strange and so scared. Can't even imagine putting a monkey's body into a laboratory and then sticking a head on it, tying it on there, sewing it up, and the monkey becomes conscious again. The monkey becomes conscious again. You know that we can transplant any organ in the human body except the human brain. We can do miracles. We can do wonderful, wonderful things with every organ, every solid organ in the body, except the human brain. And that is something that, at least for the general public, has been a problem. But now, I'm not talking about the general public. I'm not talking about the mainstream news. I'm not talking about Future Trend magazine. I'm talking about what's really going on behind closed doors. Creating these superhumans that will fight in our wars, that will eventually be downloaded into a supercomputer and not even exist anymore in physical form unless they need to be with nanotechnology. Nanotechnology is being combined with transhumanism to be able to make a shapeshifter. If this person wants to shapeshift, they will just shapeshift. If they want to turn into a coffee table, they'll turn into a coffee table. If they want to turn into a reindeer, they'll turn into a reindeer. If they want to turn into Christmas lights on your house, they'll turn into Christmas lights on your house. Sound strange? Sound impossible? Well, guess what? It's not. It's already being done in the laboratory. Now, I know for some of you, this just shakes you up. Just really, really shakes you to your foundation. Believe it or not, it doesn't me. I guess I've been too many places and seen too many crazy things, talked to too many crazy people. And hell, you've got to be a little crazy to bite off into this and see it for what it really is. I'm going to be putting a series of transhumanist documentaries onto my page. I tell you, Frank Thays, I think his name is, made a really good series that I'm going to be putting up on my page, The Eagle's Nest. I'm not going to make it public. Even though The Eagle's Nest is public, it's still my private group. I'm going to be putting it up over there. I've already put one up over there, number 5. I put number 5 up just to kind of give everyone a taste of feeding the little cells in the refrigerator and taking them out once a week and looking at them and hooking them up to these computer chips and training them in how to fly an airplane in a simulator, which I thought was really cool. But look, we're getting to a point now where, the Bible either becomes obsolete or the Bible becomes real and apocalyptic stuff becomes real. You could take it either way. That's the funny thing about life and existence and consciousness is you could take this either way. One could say that, how could anyone ever believe in an Adam and Eve and God blew breath and so-and-so and so-and-so and brought so-and-so up in the rib and blah, blah, blah and created this and that in the firmament and darkness was upon the face of the earth and split the waters and all the Israelites ran through and the soldiers were killed. I mean, this is a really far cry from all that stuff. This is beyond that, man. And my contention is, hey, if we can make monkeys breathe again after cutting their heads off and putting them onto a new monkey body, then Jesus can surely save our soul. Hey, you'd be an idiot not to believe in the Holy Trinity. You'd be an idiot not to believe in Christ as Savior and Lord. You'd be a complete stooge not to believe that Jesus came to save the soul of these crazy mad scientists and me too. For anyone to say that that's absurd and bizarre and far out and unbelievable is an idiot. Whenever the stuff that we're doing today is beyond what God did. We're talking about eventually here just killing off the human race, which goes along with what Bill Gates and these other guys have said, and girls, about killing off 9/10 of the human race or whatever it is. I'm not the mathematician tonight. I'll leave that up to you guys and girls. And then leaving just a few slaves here on the earth, and the rest of the people would be a computer. And the humans would do the computer's bidding for them, whatever might be needed to be done physically that we didn't have robots available for yet. The humans would do their bidding for them, like plug them in and unplug them or whatever the case may be. Bring in new parts or something, a part runner. Somebody's going to make a movie out of this tonight. Somebody needs to make a movie out of this show tonight, and I may be the one to do it if you don't do it first. Because it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Some of you may have already tuned out, man, because you think this guy's on psycho drugs, man, doing some good hallucinogens, But I'm not. I'm just telling you what's there, man. I'm telling you to read transhumanism. Just look at it. I've talked to so many people who have no idea. I have not talked to one person yet that has any idea how serious transhumanism is. And that in itself is a little bit weird, okay? And we're also talking about ethics here, okay? We're talking about the ethical part of messing around with the human body. How far do we want to go? They were getting us ready for transhumanism when they started implanting these earbuds inside the ear to help people hear. And then we're getting people used to it with the earbuds that people walk around and listen to their jam box with. We're getting them used to transhumanism with glasses. We're getting them used to transhumanism with contact lens, okay? We're getting them used to transhumanism with the pacemaker, okay? The pacemaker for ventricular fibrillation, which goes in and shocks the heart and brings it back to a normal sinus rhythm if it's in VFib or supraventricular tachycardia or whatever rhythm that might need to be altered, okay, back to a normal sinus rhythm or as close as possible. We've been doing this for a long time. We've been preparing people with the RFD chips and the clothes for a long, long time. Look, folks, I can tell you, there's the transhumanism is going to be something that we're going to be talking about over the next few years. Okay, it's gonna take years. I could probably do a show on nothing but transhumanism and bring on guests from every scientific discipline, and that show would last for a long, long time. Okay. This also has to do with surveillance. This cuts into everything. This cuts into anything and everything that we have been talking about here on Blog Talk Radio and Conspiracy This has to do with every single thing. Transhumanism is the holy grail of all of this. Transhumanism is the holy grail of all of this. It's the final culmination of what these folks want to do to the human race. And I use the word human very loosely, because soon we will not be human anymore. We will be machines. And there are many, many questions that need to be answered concerning transhumanism, such as, is it ethical to transplant heads and brains of humans onto other bodies? What does that do to the soul? What does that do to the so-called spirit? What does that do to body consciousness? Think about it. Think about how this will affect us as a culture, as a people, as a nation, as a species. How will that first head transplant affect everyone? It's scary, man. It's really, really scary. What they're looking at. Now let me just explain this to you, okay? What they're calling this is singularity, okay? This is going to be not only the holy grail of science, but we are talking eventually the holy grail. We are talking the singularity as it was in the beginning of time. Okay? We are talking, if you want to draw a timeline on a piece of paper, and if you want to put the arrow pointing up toward a bottleneck, okay, and so you've got a pyramid, an obelisk or whatever it's called, long with a pointed top on it. That very tip top would be the singularity. It would be the end point, when everything had become mechanical. When we were superhumans and we were able to leap through space and time as a fly flies from one plant to another, or a bee flies from one plant to another. That would be the singularity. There would be no more to do except exist in non-space, non-time, non-matter, if you will. We do not know what exists beyond our conscious realm. We do not know if anything exists beyond our conscious realm. We do not know if anything exists beyond this hologram that is in our head. It also brings us to determinism and relativity. It brings us to Einstein's theory of relativity and perspective and observation of particles in physics. As I said, it brings us to the Holy Grail. It brings us to the singularity. It brings us to that final moment when we know everything except what lies beyond time and space. Okay? What lies beyond time and space? One of my ideas that I talked to my producer about this morning was the fact that this may have happened over and over and over again already. Everything that I'm talking about tonight in dealing with transhumanism could have already happened many, many, many times before. And this is just simply another copy of it, if you will, in this particular dimension that we live in. And by the way, we haven't even talked about multiple universes, multiple dimensions yet, which also has to do with transhumanism, and actually where some of this information and technology may be possibly coming from another dimension, from another universe, from another place, another space, another time, a place without space and time, possibly, communicating with us here in the third dimension, the fourth dimension. Believe me, everything that the New Age movement is talking about today is just complete crap compared to transhumanism. We need to all sit back and take another look at what we're doing, this elementary bullshit that we're putting out to each other and to ourselves. We need to stop and rethink, reorganize, realign everything that we have thought, everything that we are thinking, and everything that we could possibly think. Because what I'm talking about cuts into all of these current paradigms, all of these current ideas, all of these current hypotheses and theories, and formulas. Cuts them to shreds. You can shred them up and throw them in the garbage can. Okay? Information is doubling now every, they say 10 years, will possibly by 2025, it'll be doubling every hour. Who knows where we're going to be in 2045, 2065, information may be doubling every hour. Now this is the Holy Grail. This is the pinnacle. This is the singularity that I'm talking about. Information doubling every hour. Think about that, if you can. Think about that, if you possibly can. Is God recreating himself in different dimensions? Is God recreating himself here on earth? Has all of this happened before? As I said in the beginning of the show, has all of this happened once before, twice before, 3 times before, 4 times before, 1,000,000, 1,000,000,000 times before? Is it happening now somewhere else? Possibly so. The computers that you have on your desk right now are nothing compared to what we will have in 10 years, in 15 years, 25 years. The computers we have now are already obsolete. They become obsolete every 6 months. New software, new programs, new this, new that. Update after update after update after update. Who knows what these things are all about? None of us know. I can tell you one thing it's about is invasion of privacy, keeping up with the citizens, keeping up with the people, keeping up with the sheeple, knowing exactly where they are, exactly what they're doing, and exactly how they're doing it, and be able to store that information in a supercomputer somewhere. I would kill for a Dr. Pepper right now. And I quit. But you know what? A Sprite would even be better. I don't care. Something. Root beer. I don't know, man. I've never had this kind of a craving before. I may just run up there and get me one. If I was a transhuman, I could just think one up and it would land here on the desk. Boom, it'd be there. Boom, no problem. Bang, done, finished. Nanotechnology. Are you guys reading? Are you studying? I know some of you are, but not very many. Are you studying what's going on today? Are you keeping up with what's going on today? Or does this not really matter to you at all? You know, when I read this stuff and I study and I go to bed at night and ponder this stuff, if I ever go to bed at night, I very seldom ever do. But I think, damn, what's the use in even trying to build a community? What's the use in even trying to think about building a family or a community or a business or anything else whenever this is happening to us? But I'm one of those that believes in the old-fashioned ways. And I'm one of those that believe in putting on some music on the number 1 slot and muting me out for just a minute. And let me take a little quick break here and talk to my producer. We had some breaking news coming in. And I'll be right back with you guys in just 1 second. It's going to get a lot more interesting than this, so stand by.
Network production. Be careful with your love. Be careful making choices. Be careful how you play with broken hearts again. Be careful with her tears. Be careful with her emotions. Be careful how you give and take away love again. Be careful with her. When you're holding the heart and she tells you that it's yours, I hope you understand what love is. It ain't as simple as talking, but action defines what you can feel. So the hell with broken promises, 'cause there ain't nothing wrong with the loving you, as long as you ain't loving her the wrong way. You gotta be careful with love, be careful with trust, 'cause you never know when she done had a long day. Be careful with her mind. Be careful when she cries. Be careful when she's trying to stick around and things don't have and change time. You're bound to cross that line. Be careful how you lie to her, 'cause a broken heart ain't nothing to play around with. Simple girl. Be careful making choices. Be careful how you play with broken hearts again. Be careful with her tears. Be careful with her emotions. Be careful how you give and take away love again. Be careful with her. Simple as love can feel real, you gotta know that a heart don't mean nothing without a home. And the money don't mean a thing when you all alone. Could be the greatest thing that happened, but you never know. Man, all that arguing gon' break her face. She'll be walking out that door while you begging her to stay. Before she leaves, you drop the keys on the radio. No need to speak, 'cause she believe he should already know. Right? Be careful with her mind. Be careful when she cries. Be careful when she's trying to stick around and things don't have and change time. You're bound to cross that line. Be careful how you lie to her, 'cause a broken heart ain't nothing to play around with. Simple girl. Be careful making choices. Be careful how you play with broken hearts again. Be careful with her tears. Be careful with her emotions. Be careful how you give and take away love again. Be careful with her love.
Wow. That's a great piece, and I'm not even going to talk about it tonight, but I'm going to put it up on my page with some special permissions and some special thank yous. When I talk to the producer, when I talk to the singer tonight or in the morning, I'm going to give them some really special place in the station for that wonderful, wonderful song that lifts up women all over the world. That's what it's made to do. And teach us how to give respect to women in this world, which is something that we are not doing like we should. Disrespect is getting worse and worse toward not just women, but old people and the mentally challenged and the mentally handicapped and the physically handicapped and all kinds of other people. But this is not a show about that tonight, although it could be. Talking about transhumanism may even solve some of those problems. But let me tell you something. Transhumanism is going to bring with it many, many, many problems. Transhumanism is going to bring with it many, many problems. Let me just read this to you. My producer just pulled it up, and I'll just go ahead and read it to you. This is so important, okay? I want to read this to you all and let you do the research for yourself and come back and let's have a discussion, let's have a debate. Let's bring some folks on and really get down deep into this thing. Transhumanism, abbreviated as capital H plus or lowercase h plus, is an international, intellectual, and cultural, if you will, cultural movement that affirms the possibility and desirability of fundamentally transforming the human condition. Now listen to this, folks. I want you to listen to these words, and I'm going to give you the words that are highlighted here, okay? Human condition is highlighted, okay? Intellectual is highlighted. Cultural movement is highlighted. So transhumanism is an international, intellectual, and cultural movement that affirms the possibility of the desirability and fundamentally transforming the human condition by developing and making widely available. Transhumanist thinkers study the potential benefits and dangers of emerging technologies that could overcome fundamental limitations, like being human, for instance, is a limitation, as well as study the ethical matters involved in developing and using such technologies. They predict that human beings may eventually be able to transform themselves into beings with such greatly expanded abilities as to meet the label post-human. And post-human is highlighted. Post-human. The contemporary meaning of the term transhumanism was foreshadowed by one of the first professors of futurology, FM 2030, who taught the new concepts of the human at the New School, highlighted, in the 1960s, when he began to identify people who adopt technologies, lifestyles, and world views, highlighted, transitional to post-humanity as transhumanism. This hypothesis would lay the intellectual groundwork for the British philosopher Max Moore to begin articulating the principles of transhumanism as a futurist philosophy in 1990 and organizing in California and intelligentsia that has since grown into the worldwide transhumanist movement. Influenced by seminal works of science fiction, the transhumanist vision of a transformed future humanity has attracted many supporters and detractors from a wide range of perspectives. Transhumanism has been characterized by one critic, Francis Fukuyama, as among the world's most dangerous ideas, highlighted, to which Ronald Bailey, B-A-L-L-E-Y, highlighted, countered that it is rather the movement that epitomizes the most daring, courageous, imaginative, and idealistic aspirations of humanity. Now, if all of this doesn't sound scary, then nothing ever will. You know, we are so desensitized. We are so bombarded and overloaded with information that we don't really raise our eyebrows too high anymore to anything. And whether this is another conspiracy, I don't know. Indoctrination, getting us ready for all of these things, I don't know. Or if it's just a general course of evolution and process, okay? I don't really know if they're just getting us ready one step at a time for all of this, or this is just a normal process of technology and evolution in technology. But whatever the case may be, it's still very scary. It's still very traumatizing to some. It's still very shocking to many. And still, it's something that some would not even believe that's happening today, unless they saw it on the computer, and they read the studies, and they actually probably met the people that were doing it. It's so hard to believe. I mean, when you actually look at the documentaries that are being done, when you actually look at the studies that have been done on all of this, it gets really weird. It's more and more weird by the minute. I'm not even talking about half the stuff that's going on here concerning transhumanism. And then they go on down here talking about Friedrich Nietzsche, talking about the fountain of youth. These are all highlighted words I'm giving you. Transcendentalist, Nick Bostrom, Bostrom, immortality, Epic of Gilgamesh, fountain of youth, elixir of life. All of these words are highlighted. Philosophy of Friedrich Nietzsche can be considered an influence. Overman, actualization, transformation, life extension, space colonization, bionic implants, cognitive enrichment, Julian Huxley, another name there, Aldous Huxley, going on down, artificial intelligence again, the new school again, post-humanity, transhuman. Those are some of the words that you can look up to get a full view of what's going on with this thing. Trying to call Heather on this board. She just left, and I'm worried about her. It's very dark and dingy up here, and she went to catch a bus to go down and get us something to drink to wet our whistle, and I'm very, very concerned with her. Let me see if I can figure this out here. Probably not. Boy, I'll tell you, it's not one thing, it is another. I'm on the air, and I can normally talk to her when she's gone, and it drives me completely insane when I can't have communication with her when she's by herself out there on this mountain. I'm sure many of you can understand why I'm worried with black bear being up here and cougars and all kinds of transient people running around. But she's stubborn, and she likes to do her own thing, and she does not like to worry about stuff like that, but I do. I'm like an old mother hen sitting on top of her chickens when it comes to my wife, running around on the mountain with bear that are bigger than my car. But she's a good woman. She's a tough woman. She's a strong woman. And she's a very bull-headed woman, I'll tell you. More bull-headed than me? Yes, she is, doggone it, I'll tell you. So, getting back to transhumanism, I think you all should really dive into this just as fast as possible, because not only is it exciting, not only is it terrifying, not only is it completely just hard to comprehend and understand, it's amazing. It's just completely amazing if you will spend the hours that I did looking at these videos and studying the information and reading books concerning transhumanism. It will definitely give you a rise, I'll tell you. If you're looking for a rise, you'll get one. If you're looking for excitement, you'll find it. If you're looking for something that is just completely out of this world and hard to wrap your mind around, this is definitely it. I'm going to bring 541 on here and see what we got going here. Oh, well, let me see if I can actually do this. 541, you're on the air with Kiler Davenport.
Yeah, I'm amused, Kiler.
Hello. How are you?
I'm all right. Transhumanism. What was that? The Epic of Gilgamesh? Have you ever read the Epic of Gilgamesh, Kiler?
Well, I'm not talking about the Epic of Gilgamesh. What I'm doing is I'm giving a very, very complete overview of transhumanism along with the highlighted words within the context of...
Well, that's where it began, Kiler.
I said I'm giving a very complete overview tonight off of Wikipedia from Wikipedia concerning transhumanism and kind of giving everyone kind of a basic 101 classroom tonight in transhumanism, something that we've been working on for about a year now. We have producers in the field that are taking interviews from people from the University of California, from MIT, from Yale University, from Boston University, from Science of London. So a lot of producers out there working very hard, bringing me information on transhumanism, and I've been doing a lot of studying also. Very interesting, very, very interesting. Something that we will definitely be talking about for a long, long time to come. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, GMO compared to transhumanism is like talking about an anthill compared to a tank in the field of battle. So, you know, we're going from modified food to modified humans, and the one thing I wanted to stress tonight are these experiments, which I do have pictures of that I'm putting up, where they have decapitated this poor little monkey and actually transferred his head over and see him being fed for 7 days and see his little eyes looking up and out. One of the most startling things to me was to see this monkey so conscious. And the other very startling thing, let me tell you that this is very interesting too, and it's on the video, is slicing the brain up, taking it like I used to in the autopsy room, actually taking the brain out, laying it on the table, slicing it in the middle, going all the way down through the pons and the medulla oblongata and all, getting both hemispheres off, and then taking little bitty slices of pieces off the brain and laying them onto a circuit board, if you will, computer circuit board, and we're trying to figure out a way, and I say we, I've actually talked to some of the scientists who are doing this, and I've actually made some suggestions, believe it or not, trying to figure out a way how to get these dendrites to grow onto these computer slides, like you would solder the wires along. You've seen the gold, and you've seen the little circuit boards. Well, we lay the brain pieces down onto the circuit board, and we found that if we feed with a robot needle, take a needle at the end of a robot arm, and you feed these dendrites along the route that you want them to go, to be able to connect up the circuit board, they actually follow the food. Now listen to this, folks. Listen to this. The dendrites are actually smart enough, or they have the built-in capability to follow the food. As you would lay out a wire on a circuit board, or you would lay down a wire on a circuit board, or you would lay down silicon on a solar panel, the dendrites follow the food and go where you tell them to go, and therefore meet up with the next dendrite. You might have some dendrite or some synapses from the medulla oblongata over into the left temporal lobe. You might have another one from the right frontal lobe that you want to meet up to do a certain thing like balance, okay? You might want balance to take place. So first of all, there's a zillion studies that go into what do I need to connect A to? Do I need to connect it to F? Do I need to connect it to Z? Or do I need to connect it to G to make balance? Well, once you figure that out, then you've got to feed you've got to feed the little dendrite over and into making contact with the next dendrite or synapses or whatever. And then once those are connected, circuit board, you've done 1,000 or 10,000 of those. So you can imagine slicing the brain up into 10 to 15 to 25, 30,000 pieces and making sure that each one was fed properly, laid themselves on the transistor board or computer board to make the correct connections to be a full brain. Now, so far as far as they've allowed the public to know that they've got, is getting these down on the circuit board enough to fly an airplane in flight simulator. These dendrites have to be fed once a week. They get very pesky if they are fed once a week. Your brain gets nasty. The longest we've ever had one live is 2 years. And the reason it died is because they had to move the laboratory to another location, and it got out in the air too long, out of the refrigeration system, and died. So, some of these things that are going on are just beyond the imagination, but as I said, I could use the word exciting, I could use the word shocking, and as I said again, do we think that we're going to transplant the spirit, if there is in fact a spirit, the soul, if there is in fact a soul? It's never been proven and never will be. Are we going to transplant these things from body to another? What happens when we take one body and we take a head, another person, and put it on that body? What happens to the spirit? What happens to the soul? What happens to the consciousness, the body consciousness, etc., etc., etc.? These are all things that are going to come under the Rule of Ethics Committee, the Ethics Committee. What are they going to say about all this? I'm sure that there's going to be a massive debate within the public as to which side of the fence you want to be on. Number one, their goal, the transhumanism goal right now, is to get rid of humanity altogether because, as I said in the beginning of the show, we're too stupid, we're too slow, we're too dumb, we're too wasteful, we're too accident prone. You know, we're far from perfect. We can't remember 20 numbers without screwing them up. 7, actually, most people can't remember 8 numbers and call them back to you. The brain's not that bright in its current state. So they're wanting to create a super race of computer people. We will, if not already, able to download our complete brain into a computer, which I believe they've already done this a long time ago. The information that we're getting now is probably 30 to 50 to 75 years behind. So we've already transplanted as I said before, we've already transplanted human heads. No big deal. We're already making ears and noses and penises in the little petri dishes with the mice. They're already growing the ears and the noses on the backs of mice, and then transplanting them onto humans. So what do? You know, humanity is eating itself up, and the government knows this. The elites know this. We're eating ourselves up. We're wasting food. We're wasting our land. We're wasting ourselves. We're just not that efficient. We're
Give me 10 minutes.
So what we want to do is download ourselves into computers and just become a computer race and have the humans to be our slaves once we get in those computers, and we'll live in a virtual reality of sorts. And eventually, as I said, we'll have the singularity is what transhumanism is looking for. They're looking for that final moment, that final pinnacle, that final holy grail, that singularity where we have transcended humanity, we've transcended physicality, we've transcended consciousness, and now we've moved into an area that is just bizarre. We've moved into an area of non-space, non-time. And what happens there, we do not know. What's going to happen there, I do not know. But I do know this is coming, and it's coming within the next 75 to 150 years. And as I said before, our information is doubling very quickly now. It was every 25 years. It was every 75 years. It was every 150 years. It was every 1,000 years. Now it's every 10 years, every 5 years, and pretty soon it will be doubling every year. And then eventually, as it will be doubling every hour. Information will be doubling every hour. I want you to think about that. I want you all to really think about what it would be like, what it will be like when our ability of information gathering and data processing and new technologies double every single hour of the day. Did you have something you wanted to say tonight, Robert?
Yeah, it's too bad humans can't do there with the best computer they have. That's their brain. I just got a few minutes here. I'm taking off somewhere, but I heard the word human is or whatever you called it. It dates back to 1800 BC, so that's the first recorded case. So read the poem. It's all in the history, okay? You're not experiencing anything new here. Hey, listen, I got to go. I got people waiting for me. It was good talking to you.
Take care, buddy. Well, that was Robert, and he had to put his 2 cents in there on something we definitely already knew. Robert's a little bit behind. We need to have a talk, I guess, next time, or fill him in on what's been going on over the last 250 years. Possibly even 5,000, 10,000, 25,000, 30,000 years. My take on all of this is, you know what I need to do? I need to find a way, even if I lose the show, I need to find a way to call Mary on another line and check on her. I am so worried about her. I don't know my name, and I might as well just put her on the air and let her hang up. I could call Mary, but then would I hang up on myself? See, I don't know these things. I just don't know if I would hang up or put her on the air or what I would do. It's kind of a weird deal. Anybody have any suggestions? I've got everything closed down tonight, all the chat rooms, all the incoming. I just wanted to get Robert on for 5 seconds. I think we overwhelmed Robert a little bit tonight. This is overwhelming for anyone. I can't believe Robert would get stuck on the poem that we talked about. But we're way beyond the poem. I'll tell you. We're talking democratic transhumanism. We're talking extropianism. We're talking immortalism. We're talking. I'm looking at some of these other words: singular. Tarianism, technogalism, abolitionism, just goes on and on with the isms. Forensic Institute, Life Extension Foundation, cryogenics, Machine Intelligence Research Institute, Mormon Transhumanist Association. Now there's one for you, the Mormon Transhumanist Association. Let me call Mary right here on the air and see. Wow, what if we could just call her into the show, man? Would that be wild or what? Would that be insane? Would that be crazy? Let me just see. Why not experiment a little bit? I mean, hell, if they can do transhumanism, we can do. Five, 3, 4, 2, 8, 8, 2, 9, 7. This is pretty cool. Let's call her in. Now, this is weird. I haven't done this. Let's go back to Blog Talk Radio. Let's go to telephone. And let's just call her into the show. Let me see if I can do this. 3, 4, 2, 8, 8, 7. Now let's just see. This is weird now. She's going to say hello. She doesn't know we're calling her. Oh, my God. It's working. I'm calling her live on the air. Now, if I get too worried about her, I'll have to run and go find her.
Hello?
Okay, you're live on the air with Kiler Davenport. I called you in because I was worried about you, and I didn't know how to do it any other way. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
I told everyone that you had gone to get us something to drink down the mountain, and I was worried about you when you're gone like this. And it was either me cancel the show and just come after you and see how my sweetheart's doing, or what.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Are you at the store?
Yes.
And you're on your way back? You're gonna have to wait.
Yes.
You're gonna have to wait for another bus, or what?
20 minutes. Yeah.
Oh no. Will you?
I'm okay. I'm good. I'm sure. Hi, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Well, listen, we're worried about you. Can you wait in the light at the store? Can you wait?
Yeah, just continue the show. Keep talking. I'll be listening. Go ahead.
We're having a ball here. I'm talking to you. I'm sure the audience is like, wow, this is cool. There's Heather. Hello, Heather.
Hi.
So we're worried about you. You got going on still, huh? So I guess you got me the no-nos, huh?
Yeah, I got 4 of them for us.
No, I'm talking about the other no-nos, the cigarettes I'm not supposed to be smoking.
Yeah, I did.
Can you get me a cold? Did you bring something? I hope they're cold, man. I am just really
They are.
cold. And you got to wait 20 minutes for a bus. See, that's the drawback of getting, we need a car. We need to hurry up and get a car, but we waited, so we're saving our money.
Saving is a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Boy, this is cool being able to call people in. I've never called anybody in. They've always called in. This is pretty neat little trinket, you know. I'm going to play some tricks on people, you know. Call them on the air and do prank calls.
Okay.
That's fun. Well, I'm worried about you, so come on as soon as you can, and be careful coming around that dark bend there.
I will, I promise.
We'll get you 38 special packing tomorrow. You left your 38 here, so I don't know why you did that, but anyway. Take care. Love you lots, and we shall see you in a short.
Okay, I'll see you in short.
You call me, and I'll answer on air. Just call us if you get in trouble, okay?
Okay, I will, I promise.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, I'm so happy that she is okay. I worry about her so much. I love her so much. I don't know what to do. Man, I love her. I don't know what I would do without Mary Heather. I tell you, I would be one lost human being. But no matter how lost I become, I am not going to become a computer. No matter how lost I become, I am not going to ever have myself downloaded into a computer. I just don't think it's right. What do you think? Let me know. Email me or come over and join the Eagle's Nest and let me know what you think about transhumanism, about becoming a computer, about downloading humanity into a computer, about all of humanity becoming a machine. Tell me what you think about this. How does it affect you spiritually? How does it affect you psychologically? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? Do you think it's evil? Do you think it's like, mad scientist kind of thing? Or do you think it's just a normal part of the evolutionary process, the living process, the human species, something that we would have just had to do anyway because we can, simply because we can. We seem to be able to, we seem to be that way. We seem to be the type of species that if it can be done, we're going to do it, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. But I really want to get your take on it, and I think we're going to do several shows on this, and I'm going to start bringing people on within these different specialties and talking about the possibilities, the ramifications, the liabilities in transhumanism. They're very adamant about saying that they want to be God, They're very adamant in making that public statement that they want to be God. that ultimately they will be God, the transcendent, omnipotent, omnipresent God, all-seeing, all-knowing, all-doing God. And we will get to a point, they say, where there is no more knowledge, there is no more wisdom, there is no more technology. That must be a place of hell, or it must be a place of complete and total bliss. I can't even imagine what that would be like. Well, first of all, if there's a God, I can't imagine what it would be like to be God. And what type of God this must be, we do not know what God is. If God is, we do not know what God is, how God is, why God is, where God is. Can you get something from nothing? That's been the question since the beginning. Can we get something from nothing? And what is nothing? Nothing must be something. In order for us to have something, it must have came out of something. It surely could not have come from nothing unless nothing is something that we do not understand, which may be the dark matter that we have not discovered yet, that we're looking for. The dark matter that fills the universe. Where is this stuff? What is this stuff made of? Is it a particle? Is it a wave? Is it a string? What is it? We don't know what it is, but it's exciting trying to find out. You know, I'm inquisitive as the next guy and girl. I'm just as inquisitive, and all of you are too. You got to admit you're inquisitive. You got to admit if there's a hole, you're going to peek through it. If you hear something going on over there and there's a hole in the wall, you're going to peek through and try to see what's on the other side. That's just curiosity. That's just being inquisitive. But remember, curiosity killed the cat. Are we going to kill ourselves? Are we going to create machines that are going to take over the world, that are going to take us over, that are going to be telling us what to do, that are going to outthink us, outdo us, outplan us? Are they going to say, what in the hell are we going to do with these human pets? We need to get rid of them. They're of no use anymore. But we created you. We made you. What would you say to them if they said, oh, by the way, we're supposed to have built-in safety mechanisms that protect us from these things getting out of control? They're building in special procedures so the computers won't get out of hand and start telling us what to do. Obviously, they're building computers that think for themselves. Obviously, they're building computers that can make their own decisions and learn and train and understand each other and actually communicate with each other. That's the goal here, of course. That's the goal. Okay? Man. And just think about the extension of life. Think about living 300, 400, 500 years, you know? Some of the old biblical characters evidently lived that long, the preacher says. I wonder if they were dealing with transhumanism back then. I wonder if they understood transhumanism. I wonder if somehow they were moving into an area of transhumanism through some of these alien pictures that we see on the wall of these caves, Egyptian caves. Who knows? My take on it, I was talking today, my take on it is that we've done this a zillion times already, and we're doing it in other dimensions throughout the universe. You know, the quantum physics says that there's a doppelganger. There's another person just like us. Only I might be a police officer. I might be an Air Force pilot. I might be who knows what I might be. I might be a coffee table. I don't know in the other dimension. But you need to study quantum physics to understand some of this stuff, or to even get a grip on it. If there are, in fact, trillions and trillions and trillions of other dimensions and universes out there, unlike ours, some like ours, wow, what a mind-boggling thing. What a mind-boggling thing. This just takes science to the nth degree, man. This just takes science and just throws it over into the abyss of possibilities. And this nanotechnology, I mean, they've built a motor in the lab in plasma in liquid form. They've built a motor, a nanomotor that actually spins around. And of course, their ultimate goal, along with transhumanism, is to create the science of nanotechnology, bring it up to the point where you can just think your furniture into your room. You can just think your house into being. And this is all very possible, atom by atom, building this stuff atom by atom. The cost would be much cheaper, thinking this stuff into existence. I don't know how they would charge for that. Your architect might think it into existence along with you with a mind meld or something. You could mind meld your house into existence. You could mind meld your art collection. You could, as I said before, with nanotechnology, there may be a day whenever you can shapeshift. You can actually change into something else, a pair of socks or a pair of underwear, if you like, or a tree, or you could change into a telephone pole from a human being, switch back and forth. It's not unlikely, it's not impossible with the technology that we're looking at today. And then, of course, to be able to communicate, we're looking at nanotechnology, we're looking at quantum computing. Quantum computing is taking the computer to a whole new realm, okay, where one would be able to communicate billions of miles away in a split second. Just bang, communicate as particles do now. Particles are already doing this. They have found that particles react to other particles billions and billions of light years away. What happens to this particle happens to the other particle. So, very interesting technology. I don't even think this qualifies as being called interesting. I think this just doesn't have a word. I don't have any words for this, to tell you the truth. I have no words for it. I have no way to describe how I feel about this. Excited, yes. Terrified, yes. Horrified, yes. Something of my nightmares. But I can tell you, I do not want to have my head transplanted on some other old boy's body, or even an old girl. And I will tell you, for all of you animal lovers out there, I will tell you that I feel so sorry for these little monkeys that are being operated on. I feel so sorry for them. It makes me want to cry to think about what we're doing to these little monkeys. Cutting their heads off, transplanting them onto other monkey bodies, and cutting mice heads off, and growing ears and noses and teeth on the backs of mice. You'll see it all in the video when I post it tonight. I'm going to do a major post slam on my page at the Eagle's Nest. And I would appreciate you all who haven't friended me to friend me, Kiler Davenport. We're going to be talking a lot about this over the next year and on forever until I die, if I don't have my head transplanted. And by the way, this is going to cost money. I don't see the average person being able to do any of this. You might have a different take on it, and I have your take on it. Will the average person be able to afford to be downloaded into a computer? Will they allow people to go to malls and just download their brains into computers? I don't know. Probably so, pretty soon. Will they allow you to hook your brain up to your computer at home and somehow go play golf with your friends in real time? Tennis, go swimming, mountain climbing, jumping out of airplanes together in a virtual reality in the mind. It's a lot safer. We could have wars in virtual reality. We could have nuclear wars in virtual reality. We could have chemical wars. We could have biological wars. We could do all kinds of things and see what might happen in virtual time versus real time. I wonder how much of the population is going to vote for yes on transhumanism. I wonder how much of the population is going to vote for no on transhumanism. What would your vote be? What would your vote be? Do you think we should just stop all of this madness right now and get back to the basics? Live like the Quakers do? Live off the land? Live very simply? Or do you think we should go on and take this technology to its highest peak, its highest point, the singularity, the Holy Grail? Tell me what you think, and email me at dkiler2010 if you want to email me. It's dkiler2010@AOL.com or dkiler2010@gmail.com. And I could sure use your help over here. We need some interns. We need some folks doing research. We need some folks handling the news pages that we're putting up. We need some folks to do research. We need some folks to work on our YouTube channel. We need news people, citizen journalists out there working and sending us news live from the streets in their particular community with their little camera and their little setup out there, being a producer and a director. We need you at the station. We want to work with you. We want you to work with us. We want to teach you everything we can, and we want you to teach us everything you can. That should be really what it's all about now. That should be what it's all about now, is teaching each other and trying to tame these wild and crazy egos we've got today and start to try to work together a little bit more. I believe that would be much more productive than what's going on now. I don't see a lot of great things happening out there as far as people working together. I've asked many of you before on many shows to come over and tell us what you're doing at Blog Talk Radio. Let us know what you're doing out there in the community that's really making a difference. Let us know who you're working with, the homeless, battered women, the mentally challenged, the handicapped. What are you doing? Come on the show and tell us. We're here for you. This is your station. This is your internet independent public radio station, DestinyRadioNetwork.com. That's Destiny, DESTINIE, RadioNetwork.com. And most of you know, others don't, that we work with seniors that are abused and neglected. We also do consulting for long-term care. If you have a loved one that you're having to make a decision concerning a long-term care facility, we're here to help you. We charge a basic fee, consulting fee via Skype, to help guide you through all of these very confusing things, such as a power of attorney, living wills, physician's directives. We try to make it easier for you to make these decisions. And if you're taking care of someone at home, we also work with you to help get set up at home. So you can look at our page over there, UnitedCaregiversOfAmerica.org, UnitedCaregiversOfAmerica.org, and that's for all the caregivers out there, for all the patients out there, for all of those who are taking care of loved ones at home out there, for all the nurse aides, for all the home health aides, for all the companion sitters, for all the LVNs, the RNs, whatever, EMTs and paramedics, all of you come on in and help us at UnitedCaregiversOfAmerica.org. We need you to help build a new healthcare system. We do not need to reform the one we have. We need to completely reinvent the one we have, because what we have now is a sick care system. We do not have a health care system. We have a sick care system, and there are many, many questions that need to be answered in this system right now. There are many, many things going wrong. Somebody's not handling the book right, and, the people that are needing help aren't really getting it, and those that don't really need it have plenty of it. So there's something wrong with this system. And I think we all know what it is, but I'd like to come together and discuss it, talk about it, debate it together, and try to come up with some workable solutions and get some measurable results. That's what Destiny Radio Network is here for, is to get measurable results. We do not want to just sit on the air and rant and rave and hit the like button and check the whirls and check the comments. We're all about getting measurable results. We're all about physically getting out there in the ground zero zone and doing something. You know, we want to talk to you guys that do things. We want to talk to you guys and gals who are real advocates and real activists and real community outreach and critical outreach people. We want to know what you're doing, where you're doing it, how you're doing it, and how can we help you do it better. We want to get this stuff on the air so we can teach other people how to get out and be activists and advocates and critical outreach people and volunteers. We're big on volunteering. And believe me, that base is falling off. That volunteer base is falling off and falling down because people just don't have the time they used to. So we really need to push for volunteers. And I encourage all of you to work locally, think locally, buy locally, live locally, dream locally, sleep locally. I encourage you to be locally. I encourage you to get out there in your local communities and stand strong and educate people and help be educated yourself. And put out flyers and stand behind your beliefs and stand behind your causes and stand behind what you want to see. The change that you want to see, be the change that you want to see. Now I'm going to get off the air and I'm going to check on Mary. I'm worried about her again, so I'm going to call her. I'm not going to call her on the air again. Well, you want to do it one more time just for the heck of it? Yeah. I can hear y'all saying, yeah. Let's do it one more time. Let's call her on the air one more time and see what she says. I'm dialing the number. Okay, she's going to get mad, but that's just the way the old cookie crumbled, I guess. Let's call her. Prank phone call her. We can prank phone call her.
Hello.
Hello. This is Kiler Davenport.
Hi.
I'm just wondering if you would like to take a cruise on Carnival Cruise Lines. We have a special deal going today for $5,764. If you would just credit card, please.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. Do you have a credit card number?
Yes, I do, but I'm not going to give it live on the air.
We have a special running today on Carnival Cruise Lines, $5,764, and if you'll give me your credit card number, we'll bring that number down to $5,664 today.
You're giving me the giggles live on the air. You know that?
Where are you?
I'm trying to come around the corner to you.
Oh, wow, I was worried. Man, yeah, you're home, huh? Okay, good. Get back to the station, man. I'm worried about you. I'm going to hang up here. We just wanted to call you and bug you one more time, okay?
Okay.
Bye.
Hi, everybody.
Go home.
I'll be there in a minute, I promise.
Okay, bye. That was so cool. Man, that was cool. That was cool. I love calling people in on this thing. I wish I could think of somebody to call in right now. I would just do it. I've got some time left. We ought to just, I don't know, prank call somebody. Bring them in on the air. Let me get my cards out here and see who we could call. I'm going to have to get like a Skype calling list or something to, man, yeah, that's, you know what, that is really, really a good idea. Computer gigabyte, let's see, Kiler Davenport, yeah, so I can do that. That's cool, man. This is fun. I mean, why not? Oh, man, we owe those guys some money. I don't know if I should call them or not. Yeah, okay, we're bringing them a payment in. Yeah, let's call them. Why not? Let's do this. This is crazy. Okay, let's do it. Here we go. 3. Let's call them. Oh, shit, that's not the number. Wait. This is ridiculous. Let's see. Boom. Let's go back and, okay. It's got to be early, right? Let's try this. Okay, let's try this. Let them have some live airtime. Yeah, I'll give them some live airtime. All right. I thought it would be fun. These are some cool guys. Computer Guru.
Hi, thank you for calling Computer Guru. We are unable to answer the phone right now, but if you leave a message with your name and number, we will get back to you as soon as possible. We are located on 1374 Willamette Street, and our business hours are Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Thank you.
Hey guys, Kiler Davenport here, Blog Talk Radio International, one of your favorite customers. I just wanted to give you a call. I was hoping you guys would be there. I was going to give you some free airtime. We're live tonight all over the United States, Canada, UK, you name it. We're everywhere. Gosh, I was hoping to catch you. But anyway, Computer Guru, you got the name, you got the address, folks, out there. Give them a call if you need to have some really good work done. These guys are the best. And they will do you a really good job, and they're very honest, and they're very caring. So, Benjamin, Joshua, you guys take care. I'll see you with a little payment. Oh, my God, owe you guys some money. Let's trade it in advertising. I'm kidding. America, that's Computer Guru, and guys, take care, Computer Guru. We'll see you tomorrow or the next day. Bye-bye. So that was Computer Guru, and let's see who else we can throw on the air here before we go off. I mean, somebody that might be a little fun, maybe not. I don't know. You guys think anybody we can prank call? Oh, that would be fun. Let's set up some. Oh, I know what I can do. Tony, yeah. George, David. Let's see. Kiler, yeah. Okay. We could call over there, give them some free airtime. I promised them that we would. What's this number? Pull it out to me. Let's call this Enterprise Car Rental. They were cool. Oh, what time is it? Oh, you've got to be kidding. Is it 8:30? Well, that's no fun for radio. We can't call anybody and bug them? It's 8:30. Who would be up at 8:30? Huh? How do you do that? I'm asking my producer. I've never called directly from Skype. Oh, we could call. We could call. What's her name? Jeff and Alana. Well, look, guys, I'm having fun. I'm a little crazy. Heather's back, thank goodness, and I think this has been a great show, man. I'm going to get on Facebook over there. Like I said, if you hadn't friended me, friend me. I need about 5 million more friends. Follow me on all my pages. I'm going to put those up somehow on Blog Talk Radio, probably on my Destiny Radio Network Blog Talk Radio page or something. I'll put all my pages. We haven't done that in a while. You guys go over there and follow me. That's always good. I'll follow you. I may be slow in getting around to it, but I'll do it. Hit the like buttons, do the follow thing, blah, blah, blah. Friend me if you can, Kiler Davenport, and come on the show, be a guest. If you want to try your hand at co-hosting, we'll have a co-host night once a month, I think, where you can come on and try your hand at co-hosting. That ought to be a lot of fun. If you're a writer, come on, talk about your book. If you're a critical outreach person or an activist, advocate, come on, talk about your cause, what you're doing. Or if you just want to come on and shoot the shit, we'll do that too around the digital campfire. Until next time, this is Kiler Davenport in the Great Northwest, and we are getting some beautiful weather up here, and I hope it stays that way, which it probably won't because we're in the Northwest where it rains constantly. You all take care. Godspeed, light be with you, and think about transhumanism. Bye-bye.